subscribe. Darling Radio. Like and subscribe.
All right, let's get Barry Long. Let's get Barry Long in here.
Tariq, much respect. White boy in the house. All right. And nothing but love. I'll ask you a couple questions and then let you opine. I enjoy your spaces, man. I enjoy listening to how you view things and how you dissect things. And, what am I? European tether from the 1800s, right? Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
I got
now,
I
now,
got
wait,
three generations up in
now,
here born of the same state. Go ahead.
is your family from Ireland, Scotland, or Germany?
I'm a mutt. I think I got a little Dutch, probably a little German.
Okay,
If we trace it back, and then mom's Spanish, etc.
okay,
But
yeah.
but listen, man. I would think politically, if you could get up and just say, hey, look, uh, this is what we got going on. We were here, and this is a collective thing. You talk about tethers and various things. And this is going to come across. I'm talking to a big room. I'm talking to you.
Go ahead,
Okay.
go ahead.
I got brothers, man. I absolutely love foundational black America. They're my boys. You have no idea. Moon, 60-year-old man, played in the NFL. I mean, we're boys.
Yeah,
I mean, good dudes. And then you got all this shit you see in these videos, just what's wrecking Walmarts and all kinds of crazy shit and all this. What's going on, man? Like, where are the people going? Hey, we got to get our group in check. What's up with that? Like, talk
yeah,
to me. Talk to me about what's going on with all that shit, so we all can get along. And how do we do this?
yeah. I saw a video of some people wrecking Walmart. No, a few things. Number one, we collectively we ain't got shit to do with those people. That's not because what's funny. First of all, some of those people look like they were immigrants too. Some of them people, some of them hairlines look kind of janky. Some of them don't even look like they were FBAs. But what happens is when we do great things, we don't get the credit for it. It's always some outside influence. But when somebody wrecks a Walmart, then all of Black society is supposed to come up with a solution as to why some idiot is wrecking a damn Walmart. W- That would only work if we co signed it. 99.9% of Black people don't co sign none of that dumb shit because these are the same people that we got to smash down on, and we don't get the resources in order to police these people. That's why we need reparations. If people want us to be responsible for the damn knuckleheads, it's time to start breaking bread, just like they do with the sovereign Indian communities. See, they can handle internal things with people within the Indian community because they have their own federal dollars that's creating the police agencies there, the schools, the hospitals, all of that. So everything can be handled in house. We don't have no resources. When we try to collectively police the communities, that turns into black on black crime. Because if there's a knucklehead trying to rob somebody and we go knock him upside his head, then we get charged with a crime. So we have to have a governing body that's backed by federal dollars, just like some of those sovereign entities, so that we can police this stuff and not be blamed for things we have zero control over. We don't control none of this stuff. So we can't sit here and say that we're responsible for some knucklehead tearing up a Target, you know what I'm saying, or a Walmart or whatever. That makes sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense, and they're excellent points. If you were in the administration and had some say so as to how to deal with these issues, because I mean, it's girls gone wild out there, in some regard. And again, I state, man, I mean, there's solid people that I've known growing up throughout my life that I guess I've never really thought about it in FBA. I've been in your spaces just kind of chilling, listening. I'm like, damn, how distinguish it, that it kind of makes sense now. But damn, I'm a white guy. Who am I talking? I shouldn't even be speaking to it. But I see a distinction where it's like, I've thought my whole life. I'm like, there's a group, man, that's just misrepresenting good solid people out there and giving folk a bad name. And
But
what's up with that? And if you were in administration, how would you deal with that?
But here's the thing. What happens is the people in the dominant society, they signal boost these negative messages about black people because they need to justify their own stereotype. Let's be very clear. Because there's so much degeneracy within white society, and particularly white supremacist society, that has been normalized. Like, for example, they like to sit here and criticize black women for the sexy reds of the world and women who rap about performative degeneracy. There was just a white woman that they had on social media who's whining about her sleeping with 100 dudes in 24 hours, and now she's about to sleep with 1,000 dudes for social media.
Horrible.
Or the Hawk Tuah girl, they made her a thing for
Rug for $50 million on some bullshit coin. Yeah.
just finesse somebody allegedly out of 50 million. So yeah, they try to lone wolf these kind of degenerate people, and they don't make all of white society responsible for that. But the minute some knucklehead does something in a grocery store, then it's all black culture, black culture. No, we're gonna do that. We're gonna have to look into white culture too. So
No,
that's
that's fair. Listen, man, I'm a guy sliding into my fifth decade. Let me ask you a question. One guy to another.
yeah.
Do you genuinely see, and we got the media hitting us both ways, whatever direction. Do you genuinely see like a white supremacist nature to this country? I mean, do you really? I mean, obviously you got your groups on one side or the other for sure, but minority in that shit. Do you think that like this country as a people just feeding their family, trying to raise them, going to church and trying to deal with their wives and their kids and dealing with business and all that kind of shit. Do you really think that we have a pandemic or epidemic of white supremacy in this country? Is that your opinion?
Yes. Not only it's not just
Really?
a everything in this country from top to bottom is dominated by systematic white supremacy. When you talk about white supremacy, we're not talking about white extremist groups. So y'all think white supremacy, they try to make that like the Proud Boys or the Skinheads or the Aryan Nation. No, those are white extremist groups. White supremacy is the daily, everyday activity that is systematic. It is governed and dominated by white supremacy without any exception. And I mean all areas of activity. You say going to church, churches are some of the most segregated places in this country. You have white churches and you have black churches. You got black churches because of white supremacy. In white churches, they used to plan lynchings in white churches. So I don't know what's going on in the white churches. It ain't the same God we're worshiping. In the schools, dominated by white supremacy, the judicial system dominated by white supremacy, the medical industry, all areas of activity is completely dominated by white supremacy. If I'm correct, now, can you, sir, point out any area of activity? And there's 9 areas of activity, according to Dr. Welsing and Neely Fuller. I think there's education, law, sex, war, religion, um, economics, and there's a few more I can't think of. But in your opinion, are there any entities in our society that's not dominated by white supremacy, Mr. Beery?
Yes, sir.
Go
So
ahead.
in my experience, I it's funny. 2 days ago, I went in. I got a blown L5S1. As a brother, as a doctor, I trusted him to stick a needle right next to my nerve, down there. And I looked him in the eye, shook his hand. I'm like, I trust you, man. And that's what we did. I've been in courtrooms. I mean, look, in my experience, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, and I can see it. I think that there's been a major shift, and it's. I think a lot of people, at least I'll speak for my race, if that's even a thing. It's it's not the color of your skin. It's the content of your character. As cliche as that is, I think there's
Hey,
many of us that feel that way. It's who are you? What's your character? Who are you as a man? And I've met some beautiful, wonderful people. I don't give a shit if you're melanated, and I think that many people feel that way in this country. And then you got this, bullshit getting pushed with this DEI and all this kind of stuff and everything else. And then you see,
What's
if
I know,
you get the BLM thing going on, and that's a bunch of bullshit. And
but
then you get that they're trying to divide us, sir.
slow down, slow down. What's DEI? Because see, that's another boogeyman that was created by the white supremacists. What's DEI?
Well, so diversity, equity, inclusion. So I'm in the markets all the time. If you look at some of these major corporations, how they push that agenda on that, it's not about who's qualified, right? It's just a matter of fitting people in. It don't matter if it's FBA or whoever. It's just you gotta slap a quota on things.
Right. That's
Yeah.
another book. That's a boogeyman
Well, no, that's a
tactic.
real thing. That's a
No, but
very
it
real
don't.
thing.
No, but it doesn't benefit us because the narrative is DEI allows a bunch of unqualified black people to get positions they're not supposed to get. That's always been the narrative. DEI helps out white LGBT, white women, and all of these other groups. We don't.
100%. Yeah, exactly. And it's how about who's most qualified? I don't give a shit what color you are. Can you fly my airplane? Because I don't want you getting in on fifth tier shit because you surpass somebody because of some color or pronoun. I don't give a shit about that. If you're going to operate on me, if you're going to fly
But,
my plane, like I think.
but, all right, but here's the problem. Historically and systematically, a lot of unqualified white people get in certain positions simply because they're white. There is a thing called white privilege. Unqualified white people get a leg up in life. This has been happening. Unqualified white people or guilty white people, they get protected. This is a real thing. We saw that with Daniel Penny, a guilty white man who lynched a black person, was coddled by a court system, and he's being treated like a hero. That would never happen to a black person. This is white privilege. This is what we're talking about. This guy wasn't qualified to be a hero, but he's being paraded as a hero. That's your DEI right there.
All right. So can we have an honest conversation about that?
Let's go.
All right. So here's a couple things to the point you made. Look, again, 5 decades. I'm just sharing my experience for the room. Take it for whatever it's worth. Disagree.
Right.
That's fine, right? Okay. So that being said, listen, I don't care who's what color or whatever. I'll tell you, in my life, I have never experienced white privilege. As a matter of fact, when I go to
Mm,
apply for or do anything or whatever, usually it's you're the back of the line because of that. That's my experience, sir. Okay, just that's an honest thing. With respect to Daniel Penny and what I understand about that case, I don't care if it was a black man and a white dude came in there acting all crazy, talking about I'm going to kill a bunch of people. I don't give a fuck if I'm going to go to jail or whatever. Hey, if it was you choked him out, just save some people. It's not a color thing at that point. It's you're getting on a train in a public situation, acting like a crazy person, threatening people's lives. I don't care what color you are. Some man needs to stand up and handle that situation.
oh,
Okay?
really?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes, sir. I don't care. I
okay.
don't care if it was you and it was a white dude. I wouldn't judge that one way at all. See, we're
Oh,
gonna
okay.
go ahead.
Okay. So you agree with Michael Berg shooting Ashley Babbitt then, right?
Well, if we want to see again, I don't see that as race either. If Michael Bird was white, I wouldn't expect him. That's a judgment call in that situation. You're calling through the window. Could there have been a different decision made? I think potentially. I think
But
that was a highly charged situation, but I think it's different than being on because a lot of people are on these trains, these subways, and all these kind of things, and
hold on.
there's some crazy shit going on. You get some. I've seen 1,000 videos. Maybe it's just an algorithm in my feed going in there
Right.
where there's like it's not safe to be in that shit. I don't care what color you are. If you're
Okay.
threatening other
So again,
people's lives, if it was you and there was a white dude, crackhead, acting the fool, and he's threatening other people, and you put him in a hole, trying to hold his ass out, but
right.
you save some
Okay.
people. Like
I,
I'm not going to judge you, sir.
Okay, so like Ashley Babbitt. Ashley Babbitt, they broke into the Capitol. They were being very violent. They were yelling and acting crazy. Michael Byrd, a great cop, doing his job. So you are saying, do you justify him giving some hot lead to Ashley Babbitt?
So I just answered that. I think that's apples and oranges in the comparison. However, here's the deal.
No, no, you didn't answer that, sir. No, you kind of danced around that. Let's be very. I want to know your answer on that. Um,
Let's say
you,
Ashley was black and Michael was white. Okay.
I'm not talking. No, no, I'm not talking about a what if, woulda, coulda. I'm talking about the situation that happened like it was. Ashley Babbitt went in there acting a fool. They broke in there, being hostile. She wouldn't listen to commands, so he had to neutralize the threat. Do you believe that that was
I'm
justified?
I'm not here to cast shade on that situation at all.
Cast shade on Daniel Penny choking out Neely.
What
You
I'm saying is, in that situation, I don't feel like color
just
has a play in it. If the roles were reversed, I wouldn't have been mad at that. That's what I'm saying.
sir, you said a man had to step up, sir. With Neely getting choked out, you said somebody had to step up, so you were fully on board with that. Why are you not on board with our good brother, our hero, Michael Byrd, neutralizing the threat that was Ashley Babbitt? Why are you not on board with that?
Okay. Well, again, there's a conflation of the two things. I've made my
Oh,
position clear, sir. So
what's the
hold on. Let
conflation?
me let me address both. Number one, again, I'll restate. I don't care what the color is, who the man is on the subway. Let's say it's you, Tariq, and you see somebody that's threatening women and children and whatever. You put a white dude in a headlock, and you're like, "I'm holding you till the cops get here." You don't care if you die or whatever. You threatening everybody, and you cut off his air and something happened. Guess what? If I'm on a jury, I'm voting you not guilty, bro. You, because it's not a color thing. You need to act a certain way. We have a social contract. Okay, you need to act right. You can't get in there
So,
acting like you're going to threaten and kill people and shit. I don't care what your color is. Okay, if it was you
so,
doing that, and I was,
so, according to your logic, Ashley Babbitt was violating that social contract, right?
I just told you.
No, no, no. You said that Jordan Neely violated the social contract and that justified him getting lynched. So, with that logic, Ashley Babbitt was violating the social contract as well, right?
So, sir, again, the conflation. I'm not casting shade on that situation. I'm not passing judgment on that. I'm neutral on it.
Why?
Okay.
Why?
Let me
It's
talk
not a
to him
race
for a
thing.
second,
It's not a
Flex.
race thing, my man.
So, Barry, basically what you just did was you played the I'm a white guy that don't see color, don't see race, and you said it multiple times. And when you gave the train incident, you said, I don't care if they're black or white or whatever it is. And when Tyreek just gave you the exact same scenario, but since it was a black person, neutralizing a white person, now you're running around and basically, oh well, it's a different situation. So you say you don't deal with white supremacy, you don't believe it, you don't see it, but you are protecting it and staying on code, and everybody is listening to it. So even though you're playing a yeah, I don't see it, your actions is still showing you actually support white supremacy, my brother.
Well,
Yep.
my friend, I think your connection was pretty thin throughout that thread. No, I state they're two different things, and I stand by what I said with regards to both. You can switch out the races in both situations. Okay, I think they're very different situations, by the way.
You're repeating the same thing. So the point is proven. I'm not going to waste no more time with him repeating the same thing. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a lesson in white supremacy right there. See, I let that go on. And thank you, Lando. That is a lesson in white supremacy. See, white supremacy is about systematic control, systematic dominance. Y'all get fooled by a white person being nice to you. You see, I want y'all to understand the levels of deception there. White supremacy is a very deceptive thing. He was like, where's white supremacy? Do you think there's white supremacy now? I mean, really? I mean, I'm like, I got my brothers, dude. I'm a good dude. I don't get no white privilege. I love everybody. I got black friends and everything, buddy. He's the nicest guy ever. But when it comes to systematic maintenance of white supremacy, oh, they get on code quick. That's where the white supremacy comes in. See? White supremacy ain't about somebody just yelling at you being mean. It's about maintenance of a system that is oppressive. Ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to understand how white supremacy works. Don't be fooled by a motherfucker being nice to you. You are still under the system of white supremacy. Just like they'll go out here and march, boy, they'll be at a Black Lives Matter march, Black Lives Matter, and then get on a jury and vote to let some race soldier off, and then go right back out there marching with you. I want y'all to understand this, man. Y'all really got to understand this thing. We better understand how these people get on code to maintain the system. He sat here talking about ain't no white supremacy, and yeah, man, Jordan Neely was acting a fool on that train. Yeah, somebody's supposed to step up. Okay, well, what about Michael Bird? Uh, 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 I don't want to shed light on that one. That's right. That there is white supremacy in your face, because white supremacy is based on racial double standards. There's always a racial double standard. With Daniel Penny, there is no black version of that. A black person creeping up behind and choking out a white person, and there's a system that's going to let them off. When you never see the racial adverse, you don't see a black version of it. That's proof of white supremacy right there. You don't see a black version of George Zimmerman, a black person running up on a black kid, shooting him, and then getting off. You don't have a black version of that. You understand? That's white supremacy in a nutshell. Racial double standards. Do not be fooled by the people acting nice. Don't be fooled by the people dancing to rap music and talking with a little black scent. Hell, we got J.W. Lucas who calls here all the time. He's a white dude who's a hip hop producer. He's produced a whole bunch of platinum records for hip hop artists. He sounds like the alt right when he gets to talking. JW is probably in here somewhere too. See, we got to teach y'all how white supremacy works, man. This is systematic white supremacy. Miriam, hop in.
Hey there, Tariq. Grand Rising.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine, beloved. That was truly a master class. Just then, you really, really did let all that show. They try to be slick. We know white supremacy is a global, systematic system that truly takes both sides of the coin. Um, So we really aware of that, and thank you for pointing that out and giving these lessons from time to time because some people are allowed to sleep, but FBA.
Thank you so much, beloved.
You wait, you wait.